Hello, hello. Okay, today I'm gonna make tomato confit with homemade pesto and burrata on top. Oh, sorry. I just woke up from a nap because it's Labor Day and I needed a nap. But okay, I'll get started on the tomatoes first. Then I'm gonna do the pesto, and then obviously the burrata's all made, so nothing to really do there. But so this is actually a super easy recipe, and I'm very excited about it. First thing I'm going to start with are my tomatoes, which I picked at my sister's house. Calls for 2 pints, so figured that's about the right amount. And all the tomato confit requires is a baking dish. I think this one should be about good. Well, maybe a little bit bigger. Well, let's just dump them in and see. I just want them to lay flat on the bottom. Well, they almost do. So maybe I'll get the next size up, just to be safe. Fortunately, the one thing about the tomato confit is that it kind of takes a while. But first thing I'm doing is removing the greens because you're supposed to do that. So all that's in the confit is olive oil, salt, red chili flakes, and garlic. So I am excited about that because that sounds super delicious. And so just removing these stems. And then what you do is you put it in the oven at 300 for an hour 15 minutes. And then you and you stir it every 15 minutes. So this is funny because as my nephew was like sort of helping me pick these, I was all worried about leaving the stems on, and he had the knack of just ripping them off the plant, which probably means they weren't quite done yet, but it was pretty funny to watch. He enjoyed helping. Started. Also gonna make a pesto today, which I love pesto and homemade pesto at that. I tend to buy my pesto from Costco because it comes in a huge container and it's delicious. But for this recipe, I was at Costco yesterday and I was like, nope, I'm not buying it. I'm gonna make this pesto today, and then the pesto that I don't use, I'm going to freeze. The stuff that I know I'm not going to be able to use within the next couple days and stuff, because I don't want it to go bad. Because I spent a lot on pine nuts, because this pesto asks for toasted pine nuts, and I went to the bulk bin yesterday at Fred Meyer, and I was kind of surprised at how expensive pine nuts were. It's also, though, very satisfying to be like, oh, I made this myself, you know, so. Okay, destemmed, done. Whew, so quick. I need to get another towel. Olive oil, salt, pepper. My salt. Not quite as much pepper. And then some crushed red pepper. Add a little heat to it. I am going to cheat on my garlic. Get my minced garlic out. Woo! Definitely smells like garlic. I'll just do a tiny bit. Ah, there's a bee or something. Or just a fly. Oh, I've been having terrible fruit flies. I hate them, they're the worst. But, I don't know, you just deal sometimes. Olive oil calls for 3/4 of a cup. So, I'm going to just be generous. I'm going to assume that's probably about 3/4 of a cup. And then I'm going to stir this all around. Okay. I'll need the olive oil again because I'm going to be using that in the pesto. So now I'll just wait for my oven to preheat. And I can actually just toss these. Give a quick rinse. It doesn't really need washed if I don't get it that dirty. Ugh. That's my disgust of fruit flies. Okay, and now let's get started on the pesto. Let me look at the directions real quick. 1/4 cup pine nuts, 2 garlic cloves, Parmesan Reggiano. I'm just using Parmesan. It shouldn't make a difference. Olive oil, basil. So, okay. I'm gonna get you a better angle. But I got my handy dandy food processor out because you know how much I love that. And first, actually, you know what? First, let's toast the pine nuts. Calls for 1/4 of a cup. This time I'm actually gonna measure because these weren't cheap. I'm gonna get a pan out. Really gotta smell it to make sure it's clean. Little pan, medium-high heat. And all I'll do is I'll just essentially toss them around for a hot second. There we go. Look at it, I think I have about half left. Pine nuts are so good in anything. Like, I love putting them just like in pastas. So that's why they're not a bad thing to have. Also, I feel like I can smell everything burning because I tend to dump so much shit into my stove. Just did a huge deep clean yesterday because the apartment was a little bit on the messy side. And it had just been a while, you know how you get like distracted and stuff is just burning off. Okay, so we're toasting the pine nuts. Sorry, I'm reading the directions. I'm gonna get you, well, I've actually said medium-low heat for this, which probably makes sense because I don't want you to burn them. Wonder what it would it taste like if you didn't toast them? Well, I'm not gonna really find out. Okay, but guess what? Oven is preheated. So I'm gonna dump this into the oven. Okay. Now where can I not make a mess and leave that spoon? There we go. Okay. I will check that in 15 minutes, okay? Just gonna check the time real quick. Okay, while I'm toasting these, oh yeah, they're getting hot. I'm going to get the garlic. So I think it's 3 cloves of garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, and the pine nuts are first gonna go in, and then I'm gonna pulse them in the food processor, and then I add everything else. So I'll grab my garlic out. Yeah, I know, I totally cheat on my garlic, which everybody already knows. So 2 cloves, let's see. 1. Yeah, those are kind of smaller. We'll put those 2 in. So I'm actually doing 3 cloves. The pine nuts are a-cooking. And I'll start prepping. So I didn't actually need that garlic. I gotta find the cheese. Even and there it is. Okay. I'll get the basil ready while we wait. Then they say to let the pine nuts cool just for a little bit before you start pulsing. So this recipe calls for 4 cups of basil. I just bought a box and I'm using it. I just plan on using it all. I might save like a couple big leaves, you know, for like to make things look pretty, but yeah, that's kind of it. I'm just removing it from the stems. I can never get over how much basil smells so good. Okie dokie. So, I hope everybody had a good Labor Day and Labor Day weekend. I didn't really watch a lot of football on Saturday. A bunch. And then on Sunday, did like a lot of adult things. Like went grocery shopping. I went to like all of my 3 major grocery stores. I went to, well, first we went to the farmer's market in the morning, and then to Costco, and then Trader Joe's, and then Fred Meyer, like all in one day. It's kind of ridiculous, but like I get certain things at every store, and I don't know why. Makes me sound like a crazy person, but oh well. Ooh, are there any bad leaves in here? I want to make sure I get those out. I always feel like when there's a bad leaf in the basil, it makes all the other basil go bad like 10 times faster. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's like always how it goes for me. So, okie dokie. Let's see how much more. should watch my pine nuts, huh? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know when they're toasted. These look fine right now. I mean, they're not too much darker or anything, but there we go. Oh, my hands are gonna smell so good. So here's a weird thing. I don't like Thai basil, but I like regular basil, or like Italian basil, I guess is what you'd call it. So when I eat Thai food, my favorite dish, I always pick around the basil. I never have them take it out because it's not like I hate it that much, but, and I'm not that type of picky eater, but that is a weird fun fact about me. Oh, guess what I did last night? Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I made the chicken bake again, but this time I did carrots. I did colorful carrots, like purple, orange, white, yellow, like those carrots. I did carrots, mushrooms, sweet potato, and one more thing, onions. So good. Like, that's the nice thing about that dish, is you can totally just like switch up your veggies in it, because it's versatile that way. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more stems, and then I'm gonna call it. I think that's, like, look at how much basil that is. I can always add more basil too. We'll pulse it, we'll see what happens, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna let this toast just a smidge longer. And I don't really have too much basil left, actually. I used almost all of it in the box, but I'm going to grate the cheese so that I can just toss everything almost in at once. So that'll make things go a lot faster. Maybe I should. They smell kind of toasted. Now I can kind of start to smell them. Okay, so I need a bowl. I need this. Okay, I'm going to take these off. And I'm going to dump them into the food processor. And let them cool. And I'm going to give you a better look of just than my chest. I will do a little downward view so you can watch me make it. So I'm letting it cool for about 5 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes since I put in the tomatoes. And so once those are I'll be able to stir them probably right after I finish grating this. Okay, called for 1/3 cup. I am going to call that a 1/3 cup. Probably wants the pine nuts to cool, because you don't want you don't want all your cheese melting when you stick that in and globbing up. That'd be gross. I probably should plug it in. Okay. Couple more minutes. That's the only thing. It's like you gotta be patient about some stuff. Try not to make a huge mess, but obviously I'm failing a little bit. It's just when everything is so clean, you know, you want to keep it clean forever. Oops, forgot to put my apron on today. Oh. There is the basil. We are adding, again, crushed red pepper and salt to the pesto. Just a half a teaspoon of salt and then a pinch of crushed red pepper. So, okay, you know what? I think it's time to pulse. So, I am pulsing this for 30 seconds. I realized that was not 30, but I feel like I need to shake it up a little bit because everything kind of settled. There we go. I guess though when I add everything else too, that'll probably just pick it up and it'll be able to. Okay, I'm gonna go with that for now. Now I'm going to add my pesto. Well, it's okay. Hold on. Okay, there's my pesto. Here's my cheese. I like my pesto a little bit on the saltier side. Oh, I said my pesto. I meant my basil. And then just a smidge of crushed red peppers. And last but not least, the olive oil. 1/3 of a cup. So I'm going to just put in a little now. Pulse. Then add more if I need it. Let's just taste it a little bit. Oh my god, that is really good. But there, just a smidge more of olive oil. I'm gonna wipe down the sides real quick with my little spatula. And we'll pulse it a little bit more. It just tastes so fresh. It's gonna be delicious with the tomatoes. Okay. Okay. That looks good to me. Nice thing is you can always add more olive oil. It's not a big deal. Okay. That looks good. Okay, you know what I gotta do? I gotta stir those tomatoes. So, I'm gonna pop this back up. Actually, I'm gonna move you so you can see into the oven. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. Try to stay out of the way as much as possible. Not much has changed in here. They're starting to split open, it looks like, a little bit. But we'll just give them a quick stir. Okay. And wait another 15. Okay, I'll be back. Give you a quick close-up. There's the pesto. It looks delicious. Okay, I will see you when the tomatoes are done and I have begun to assemble. Hi, I'm back. Oh, sorry for the close-up again. I am going to plate this. The tomatoes look beautiful. It smells good. What am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna put it on this platter. I'm gonna start with the pesto. I'm gonna do a little downward view though, so you can see it a little better. There we go. Oh, sorry for the jiggliness. Okay. So I just went and had a beer with a friend of mine, and she had mentioned adding lemon juice to the pesto, which this recipe didn't call for, but it's definitely like something you can do because I've done lemon juice in pesto before, and also I think it keeps it a little bit, you know, I don't want this one. I'm gonna do a smaller one. The lemon juice keeps it probably a little bit of a brighter green. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of smearing the pesto onto this. I'm not going to use all of the pesto because I want to save a little. I'm going to make a pizza tonight too, and I'm going to put a little of the pesto on the pizza. Okay. So, okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so there's your pesto. Here is the burrata. Okay, how do we get it open? Oh, that's how. Okay. So, for those that don't know what burrata is, I just call it creamy or mozzarella. It says that it's actually mozzarella when you like look at the box, but whatever. I want to just, I don't want to get another spoon dirty, but I'm going to. I'm going to fish around. So this says there's 2 balls. Look how good that looks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually split this kind of in half. It didn't split in half like I really wanted it to. That's okay. And then I'm going to add the tomato confit. Let's see. Oh, still a little warm, but here you can kind of get a look at the tomato confit. And I'm going to just scoop up and just place it kind of around the edges. And then you will eat this with just bread. Kind of just dip it in, you know, and make a, we'll just stick a couple on top. There we go. Okay, that is it. I hope everybody enjoyed, and super easy appetizer to make. So feel free. I got my recipe from Cozy Kitchen. I follow her on Instagram, and she makes lots of cute stuff. So fingers crossed it tastes good. See you later.